Hi, ladies. Happy Monday. Dr. A here, checking in with you on your COVID-19 stay-at-home isolation time to see how you're doing. I just wanted to touch base with you and talk about a few of the long-term indicators you might be having for the amount of stress that you're under, and 4 different strategies that you can use to counter this stress and keep an even keel for the rest of our social isolation time, however long it lasts, whether it's a few more weeks or it's another month. So at any rate, we're like making history here, living through a pandemic. I've never lived through one before. I don't know if you have, but sometimes it's not always easy or comfortable living through and making history. And, there were a lot of us who were already in perimenopause or midlife or menopause at the time that COVID-19 hit. And so it's kind of a double whammy. And some of the indicators we're going to talk about might be related to your midlife experience and transformation. And some could be due to the COVID isolation. And there is going to be some overlap. But be it here or there, we are experiencing a lot of stress, and I want to help you manage it if I can. So let's see. I have some notes here. All right. So our stay-at-home orders started for weeks, and then they went on for months. And you may have started to experience some or all of these indicators. For instance, you may be just totally exhausted and yet unable to sleep, right? Okay. You may have foggy brain. You may have the inability to concentrate or poor short-term memory. For example, my husband will come in and say, honey, I'm going to go to the store and try to find some toilet paper. And I'm like, okay. And then 5 minutes later, I turn around and I say to my daughters, where's your father? And they say, Mom, he just told you he was going to the store 5 minutes ago. And I go, oh, that's right. Now I remember. That sort of short-term memory fog is really, really normal for long-term high stress, okay? You could have shifting feelings that come and go in waves, such as anxiety, anger, frustration, hopelessness, sadness. You could be experiencing depression. That's all very normal, okay? Not fun, but within the bounds of normal, okay? 1 minute we can feel okay. The next minute we're in fear for ourselves and those we love. People who've lost their jobs and have no income are now fearing potential hunger and homelessness for their families, okay? Thoughts creep in when we can't sleep at night. Thoughts of our own mortality. Thoughts and fears about the death of the people that we love and that we care about. And we're mourning our former lives. Really, we are. I mean, when you think about how sad we are about what we can't do, and people are saying to us, well, life after COVID-19 is never going to be the same. Everything's going to be different. So what is that different going to be? We don't know what our next lives are going to be, but we know that we won't have the lives we had before. And that can be sad, and that can make us grieve for what we had and what we lost. And that's very, very real. And so there's that dividing line again in our lives, pre-COVID, post-COVID. We have no idea what that's going to be. We don't know week to week, month to month, when the country's going to reopen. If there's going to be a resurgence, when there will be a vaccine, and on and on and on. There's so much uncertainty, and that adds to our stress, and it's real. Okay? We've been living in the midst of danger and uncertainty for a long time, and it causes physical and mental burnout. We are exhausted. Let's just throw it out there. Everyone is exhausted. Our brains are exhausted from living and processing living in mortal danger for an extended period of time, constant mortal danger for months, okay? Now, when we're in immediate danger, okay, our instinctual reflexes take over, and it's the fight, flight, or freeze response, what I call the 3 Fs, the triple F, right? And our body our brain releases epinephrine so we can outrun a predator, or we can stand and fight and battle, or we can hide and freeze. But we can't run, and there's no one to battle, and there's nowhere to hide. So it causes a lot of stress. There's no immediate enemy that we can do battle with in order to resolve the epinephrine rush. the instinctual part of our brain, the amygdala, the part that releases the triple F response, keeps getting triggered over and over and over again. And there's no predator that we can outrun. It doesn't differentiate between a physical threat in front of you or the frightening images that you see on TV or the web and your emotional response to them. Okay? So when you see the horrible COVID deaths and we get so anxious about what is happening with this disease, it triggers the same response again and again and again from our reflexive instinctual brain. Okay? And it does not respond to logic or rationalism as a calming agent. It just keeps the anxiety level very, very high. And the constant uncertainty, the loss of jobs, of income, of personal safety, all play a part in all of this. Okay? So there are also parts of our brain, okay, that release chemicals for the biochemical recovery to a triple F, the fight, flight, or freeze response, okay? But between the triggering of the triple F and the triggering of the response or calming chemicals and back and forth, our reserves are tapped. We are spent. We are bone dry. That's why the days meld one into another, why it's so hard to focus or concentrate, and why our moods can shift like riding a swing in the park from high to low in an instant. And it's why you could find yourself in tears, angry, resentful, or super critical of others or even of yourself. Okay, but despite all of this, we're not powerless, okay, in helping ourselves get through this difficult time and through this adrenal burnout and through this amygdala burnout period. First, I want to remind you not to spend a lot of time watching TV or on social media, listening to COVID-19 stories, okay? An hour or less a day should be enough to keep you up to date on what's going on in your state and in your community, okay? Instead, use social media to connect with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people and things that are really special to you and they're important to you in your life, okay? If you're isolating at home, alone, it is really very important for you to reach out and talk to someone, friends, family, somebody in a group that you belong to every day. Because if you talk to someone and you can see their face either in a video chat or you hear them on a phone call, your brain releases a calming chemical that is triggered by compassion, by empathy, by love, by actually hearing another human voice and or hearing the voice and seeing the face. Okay, this chemical is not released from a text message. It's not released from a Facebook meme, but you actually have to talk to someone and hear another human voice. So please reach out and talk to your friends and family. It will really help you every day to help reduce your anxiety. It's really important. Okay. Second, if you're isolating with one or more adults, remember to be kind and compassionate with them, but also with yourself. Living in uncertain times and in very close proximity with other people, and in the midst of fear can bring out the worst in us. All of our faults, all of our weaknesses, all of our complexes take center stage. The apologies for our missteps and empathy for everyone's anxiety can go a long way to keeping stress levels down. Third, get outside. Go outside and do something for 30 minutes a day, walking your dog, taking a walk by yourself, yoga, a bike ride, gardening, whatever it is you want to do that you like doing outside, because 30 minutes of physical activity is enough activity for your brain to reduce stress-relieving chemicals and feel-good brain chemicals as well, those endorphins that we get when we exercise. Being outside is also going to help your vitamin D production, which is going to be good. Fourth, create a daily schedule that you can stick with. Go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time if you can, right? Eat as healthily as you can. Schedule exercise into your day every day at the same time if you can. Find something you really like and schedule to do, and schedule that into your day, whether it's working on an art project, doing something creative, reading a novel, sewing, doing a project. As great as it is to sew masks, and I'm so grateful to everyone who's sewing all the masks, that's a COVID related activity. I'm talking about finding something to do that you enjoy doing for you that's not related to COVID-19, okay? To give your brain some rest and to do something that is enjoyable to you.